Hello there, my name is Harry from Carpentry. Welcome back to another video. In this video you join us on a Saturday where we're going to be making some more headway with the sunroom. So this week has been a bit mismatched with what we've been up to, so we thought we'd come in today and get a little bit further with the sunroom, make a good dent in it. Yesterday we test fitted and pricked the tenons on the left hand side, so that left hand side main wall is done and ready to go. So now we're obviously repeating that on the right hand side. So for today we've already got the sole plates done, as you saw us do in the last video. So we're now going to start running the mortises in there. Will's cutting the tenons on the remaining 3 legs that we need, and then hopefully by the end of today we will have the right hand side fully built and pricked and ready to go as well. And then obviously we can work on the top section where obviously the pitch of the roof is generated in that, and get that done next week. Sort of probably, well no, because not Monday we're fitting a media wall. So later on next week we'll hopefully start then working the top section in, and then the week after that is we're doing the Suffolk show. I mentioned that in the last video as well. So we pretty much lose that entire week, obviously setting up, having the 2 days at the show and then breaking down as well. So so the week after that is when we intend to take the frame over to site, deliver it, and then remove the old existing conservatory / sunroom and then start looking to fit our new one. So that's the plan for today though. We're going to set you up outside, show you what's going on quickly, set you up outside for a time lapse probably while we put the mortises and the tenons in, and then yeah, we'll show you what the process is when we come to then fit and prick everything. Okay, so before we get started, I want to quickly show you some new bits we've had made for us. This is what's called a podger. So it's a piece of stainless steel, 19mm, the same size as our peg holes that we drill, so that as we're doing these test fits, putting everything together, we can push these in, and obviously with our draw from the offset prick, that will pull that shoulder tight, and we can obviously then square everything up, make sure we're good while we're getting, like for instance on this job, while we're getting our glazing measurements, and we can then take them straight out, twist it, pull it straight out, and then it's good to go. And the same as this is our offset pricker. So as you can see on the center, the prick here is actually off center. I don't know if that's focusing or not. So that's off center by about 3mm. And that then gives us our draw, and obviously there's the blacksmith put a nice little machine mark on there for us. So yeah, these were made by a local blacksmith to me, a good friend of mine, Tom Boyd his name is. He's based over in Norfolk way, and he made us a few of these up based on some drawings that we found online, because we couldn't find anywhere else to get these. Not many places make them. So in here you can see this is the mortise, and obviously as that goes in through that hole, Will, if you come around here, you can then see where that will then locate into the tenon, into the hole that's drilled through the tenon, and we can drive that in there and gradually pull that tenon in so that it's sucked the shoulder tight here, and then obviously we know we're good. And the same with the pricker. So we'll know, we'll put that machine mark up towards our shoulder here, and then that prick is always going to be at the right point. So we'll drill on that prick point here. So that would have been exactly in the center of that hole, that prick, and you can see where that offset is and how that offset is there. You can see what's happened here. You end up with like a half moon shape at the bottom of the tenon. So as that peg gets driven in there, that half moon is then pulled in and pulled down to suck all of these shoulders nice and tight, instead of just sending it through, which doesn't give you any draw whatsoever. So this is a very, very traditional method and traditional way of doing things, and it's worked for hundreds of years, and it will continue to do so for hundreds of more. So we had these made up for us, and I'll show you these in closer detail at the end with some pictures or something, and you can go and see them on our Instagram as well.
It's almost like falling in love for the first time, all over again. Hold on tight to the feeling, but it's a roller coaster in my head. So I'm holding myself on a precipice, and I've been dreaming off the ground.
Right, so as you just saw, we just spent a bit of time doing the mortises on the sole plates here. So we've got, right on the corner there, we've got 150mm tenon which drops down to pick up the bottom, and then what I like to do is I'll come through here with my pegs, so you can see it's going the wrong way on this one, but that's not an issue because on this one it's going the correct way, that way. So when we come to peg it, that will suck that joint, and with that offset prick I mentioned earlier, will suck this entire section tight over here. Then obviously the rest of them are all normal. We've got our back one there, our back post there which extends up, and will take the rafter at the top there, the sort of gable if you like, take that gable beam, and the rest of them are all normal. Obviously this one will come through, and then that's when we've got that big 5 metre tie beam to go over the top. So then obviously, as I mentioned before, I find it, it is very important that while we're doing anything in the yard on this frame, is that we keep it nice and level and nice and square. So we've got this brace here, keeping it square, as I mentioned in the last video, screwed at the front where that glazing bead's going to be anyway, so that screw hole will never get seen when we take that out and glaze the actual frame itself. So that's keeping it nice and square. To square it, I like to do the 3-4-5 method, so I'll pull 3 foot that way to that mark, 4 foot that way to that mark, and then across the diagonal there you should have 5 foot. That's how you know everything's nice and square. So then obviously we keep it level, so the driveway in the yard falls towards the thingy, so we always know that the corner there is always going to need picking up that way as well. So you know, it's just it saves so much aggro if you do everything level here, then you go on a site, or if you do everything out of level here, then you're trying to level it up and your shoulders don't line up, nothing goes square. So at least now we know that when we come to site and put this together, it's going to go exactly the way that we've had it here. Whilst I've been doing this, Will's been cutting some tenons over here. So we've got 2 of our normal legs here. So I'm going to start putting these into their mortises whilst he cuts up the remaining 2 legs that we need. And then we have our long leg, which is in this stack here somewhere. Yeah, this one here. So this one we've already cut the tenon on, it just needs haunching, and then obviously that will need mortising to accept the top plate that comes into it. So that's the plan. I'll start setting the tenons into the mortises over there. We'll cut the last 2 up, and yeah, hopefully we can actually get this pretty much wrapped up today. So yeah, that'd be good.
So I'm looking for something that's definite. I'm praying you don't let me down. It's gotta be it's gotta be all or nothing, all or nothing. Oh, it's gotta be all or nothing, all or nothing. It's gotta be all or nothing. It's gotta be all or nothing. Oh, or nothing at all. Hold these doubts like the playing cards close to my chest. Turn them round for the river and hope it's something that I won't regret. So I'm holding myself on a precipice, and I've been dreaming off the ground. So I'm looking for something that's definite. I'm praying you don't let me down. It's gotta be all. It's gotta be all or nothing, all or nothing. Oh, it's gotta be all or nothing, all or nothing.
So we've now got the sidewall assembled, and obviously, as I mentioned earlier, we left this one long so that we can then run our gable through. I should imagine we've probably got around about 600mm to come off the top of this post to meet the correct height. We've put a couple of straps around it just to pull all these shoulders tight while we strap it, while we prick it, sorry. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get the square, check each individual joint for square, then prick each and individual joint, take it all apart again, drill it, and then it can get stacked and go elsewhere then, because we won't need to reassemble this until we're on site. And then the only part we'll need next week is this top plate here. We'll probably need this leg actually to obviously assemble that half lap joint, and then we can run the tie beam all the way through, but we'll do that on the floor and upside down. And then we'll need this rear leg assembly and this top plate assembly, so we can work out that gable, run the tenons in for this gable, and then obviously that'll be the same on the left hand side. So yeah, like I say, what we're going to do now, square each joint just with a framing square, and then use the offset pricker to prick the holes for the tenons, and then it's good to go. So yeah, but very, very happy with today's progress and how it's come out. I think it's looking absolutely fantastic.
It's almost like falling in love for the first time, all over again. Hold on tight to the feeling, but it's a roller coaster in my head. So I'm holding myself on a precipice, and I've been dreaming off the ground. So I'm looking for something that's definite. I'm praying you don't let me down. It's gotta be yours.
Right, so it's now just gone 4 o'clock and we're pretty much wrapped up for the day. And now we have a lovely stack of one side of the sunroom, and then another stack just underneath that top there. So you saw us obviously taking it apart and putting it together, make sure that everything was nice and tight, nice and square, and then it wasn't before that point that we then used the offset pricker to prick our tenons, so that when we come to knock those tenons home, that will pull everything nice and square, nice and tight, and we know exactly what we're going to end up with. So come Monday, we're obviously fitting the media wall, and then past that we can then start the work on the gables of the sunroom, and then obviously use the tie beam to put them together, and then we're pretty much there. So I think we're on track to get it over to site on the delivery date, and yeah, hopefully, I think we're probably looking at the best part of the day to get the old one down, because we want to take the glass down in big pieces, obviously, instead of just smashing it out, and then we can take the rest of the structure down and get our new one up. So yeah, so that's the plan. But for this video, we're going to end it here. So if you did enjoy it, please let me know. Please leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you again in the next one.